If you watched those videos but you didn't write anything down, you may want to go back and take some notes and actually think about what you want. Not right now. Stay right here. We have more to cover. You can go do that later. All right, so here are the 5 steps to making a decision. We talked about how to set a goal and in what areas of your life you should set a goal or two. We started there because there's some advantages to setting specific goals. Number one, you're going to educate yourself on a subject when you've set a goal. So for example, if you set a goal to lose weight, you're going to start reading and listening to the experts out there about the best way to do this. And then you'll figure out which way makes the most sense to you, and then you'll go after it. And so, number one, you're going to gain knowledge in the subject of your goal. Number two, if you have set goals, you're going to have to figure out how you're going to make these goals fit into your current lifestyle. So you're going to find yourself rearranging your schedule, figuring out that you have 30 minutes here or 30 minutes there, and you're going to start making time going after these goals. So you may even have to save some money in order to buy something so that you can go after that goal. So number two, you're going to learn how to budget your time and your money better. Number three, if you have goals in different areas of your life, you're going to notice an opportunity when it arises, and you're going to say to yourself, hey, this is going to help me get to my goal, so I'm going to jump at this chance. So you'll find yourself acting on opportunities. And number four, if you have goals set, you're going to develop the ability to make a decision. If you know what you want, then you know which direction that you want to go. And if you have that information, it makes making a decision in everyday situations easier. Over time, the ability to make the correct decision will become second nature. So here's an important fact. Successful people make decisions quickly once they have most facts available to them. Notice that I didn't say all the facts. Successful people gather as much information as they can, as fast as they can, and then they make a decision on that. And then they change those decisions slowly or never. Unsuccessful people, however, make a decision very slowly, and then even if they make one, they may change it very quickly. And then they can be swayed by almost anyone. And so that's the difference, right? Is once we make a decision, if we can gather all the stuff, we already have the information. We don't need to change our decision after that, right? So what we want to do with this talk is learn how to overcome the terrible habit, and that's all it is. It's just become a habit. We want to overcome the terrible habit of avoiding making a decision. So something that helps in making decisions is knowing exactly what you want. So our talk on how to set a goal and the other talk on the 7 areas of your life to set goals helps us in figuring out exactly what it is that we want. If you watched those videos but you didn't write anything down, you may want to go back and take some notes and actually think about what you want. Not right now. Stay right here. We have more to cover. You can go do that later. All right, so here are the 5 steps to making a decision. If you follow these 5 steps, you're going to hedge your bets towards making a correct decision more often. As you begin to do this, you're going to start making more decisions at a faster pace. Your batting average is going to improve on making the correct decision, and all of a sudden you're not just walking, you're running towards accomplishing your goals. All right, so step number 1, list out your options. So when a problem pops up in front of us, lots of times we just see the problem and we think, okay, I'm standing here and the problem's right there, and this is my option. It's right there. That's my option. And the thing is, very few problems do we need to make an instant decision. if we do have to make an instant decision, those are like life and death situations where you have to make that instant decision, or they're morally right and wrong decisions that you have to make an instant decision, something like that. But most issues where we have to make a decision, you're going to have 24, 48, 72 hours to be able to think about it. And if you're anything like me, you can't get it out of your head. It's all you can think about. And after a little while of thinking to yourself, I thought I had one option, right? But another option is to do just the opposite of that. So I thought I was going to go this way, but actually I could go that way. And I was going to move forward, but actually I can move back. And then once you do that, you go, wow, I didn't think of that option before. Maybe it's not a great option, but I didn't think of that option before. Well, what if I came at it from this angle? What if I came at it from this angle? And all of a sudden you start coming up with different options to that problem, okay? The thing that happens with that, let's say after 24 or 48 hours, you come up with 4 different options. The thing that comes from that is you get to relax a little bit, because now you have more than one option. You're not just stuck with, oh man, this problem came up and I have to do this. It's, hey, this problem came up, but I got a couple things that I can do here. Which one do I want to do, right? What's going to work out best for me? So that brings us to step number 2. What we want to do is, let's say you ended up with 4 options. So you're going to make a list of the possible outcomes for each option. Now, this is the fun part for me. I think this is the fun part. So the first outcome is, what if everything goes 100% perfectly? You're going to feel good after doing this, because we all want to see what success is like, right? What it looks like on the other side. Especially if we only have to do one thing to be successful, right? So you're riding high, you're feeling good, you thought of all 4 options, and you go, wow, if I just do this and it works out perfectly, well, piece of cake, yeah, and then your problem's gone, right? But we kind of want this step to be more like playing chess. And if you've ever played chess, and you made a move without thinking through all the options, you may have made a move and gone, great move. And then the other person makes a move and steals your piece. And you go, well, crud, I didn't really think about that. And so what we want to do is we want to think about all the possible outcomes. So instead of just thinking through and going, oh, look, if I do this, this will happen. It'll be perfect. Everything's going to work out rosy. Now what we have to do is come back to reality, and we have to think of the worst case scenario. So what if everything goes 100% wrong? What if I go option number 1 and it doesn't go as I planned? Now what, right? If I do option number 2 and it doesn't go as planned, now what? And so what we want to do, you may find out that if you choose, let's just say that you choose, option number 2, and if it doesn't work out, it may actually open up another problem. And then you go, ooh, if it opens up that, and then how would I counteract that? Let's see, I'd go here. Ooh, it opens up another problem. Oh, not sure I want to do that, right? So during this step, I try and counter everything that could go wrong. So if I choose this option and it doesn't go as planned, what would be my next step from there? I could do A or B. Then we repeat this cycle and say, if everything goes 100% perfectly with option A, what would that look like? And then if everything goes completely to crap, what would that look like? And then we do it again with option B. So we can go through this thought process 2 or 3 or 4 levels. So basically you're thinking, if I do this, then that could happen. If I do this, then that could happen. If I do this, then that could happen. And this is exactly how you think through a chess game before you move any of the pieces. Now, without throwing numbers around willy-nilly, I try to assign a reasonable percentage of the likelihood of each outcome. So I have 4 options. Option 1 and 4 have about a 70% chance of happening. Except option 1 is 70% chance of everything going perfectly, and option 4 is 70% chance of everything going completely wrong, okay? You go, ugh. All right, so now we're up to step number 3. Once you have your options and your possible outcomes, find a quiet place so you can assess your feelings. This is where the decision is actually made. Up to this point, you've looked at the options and the possible outcomes. Now, Project into the future for each option and outcome. How do you feel if option number 1 happens? What about option number 4? Because option number 1 was going to work out pretty good. Option number 4 probably not work out that great. How does it make you feel? And no one but you can understand your gut feeling, your intuition. You have to sit down, project into the future that the decision was made, and now you're on the other side. How does it make you feel? And if only one option gives me a good, relaxed feeling, then I have my answer. If I don't feel good, if I don't feel relaxed, if I don't feel calm, but deep down I know that that's the right decision, well, those are the difficult decisions that make you grow as a person. I've had this happen in my life so many times where my close circle of people were telling me not to choose the difficult decision. And I was like, look, if I choose the easy option, I'm going to feel horrible about myself. I have to make this tough call. I have to. At least I can hold my head up. Even if everything goes wrong, that's the decision. I got to make it. I got to go with it. So step number 4, we're going to actually make the decision. So for some, this is the hard part, but if we've gone through the process, this is actually the easy part. The hard part was putting in the time to think about it. So each time you go and you list your options, the possible outcomes, and then project into the future after making the decision and how it makes you feel, this gets easier and easier to do. After a while, making any decision becomes easy. You're prepared. You've done the research, you've added the pros and cons, you've even performed a gut check. Make that decision and get into step number 5, which is put everything into motion. Once you've made your decision, don't look back. Don't second guess yourself. You've already considered all the options and decided that the others were not good enough. So here's what a true leader does. Once you implement the decision, be fully prepared to accept the responsibility for the outcomes and be prepared for anything that may go wrong. Hopefully you've thought about some of these possibilities. You've seen them on the horizon and you said, yeah, that may happen. However, in my experience, things that you didn't even think about are going to pop up, and you must deal with these quickly so that you can keep moving smoothly down your path. All right, let's do a fast recap on how to make a decision. Number 1, list your options. Number 2, list the potential outcomes and what is the possible percentage. What's the more likelihood percentage of that actually happening? Number 3, check your feelings. Number 4, actually make the decision. And number 5, put everything in motion. If you're feeling stuck about something, or if you don't know that, or if you know that you don't take advantage of situations because you don't make a decision, put this to work for you and see how fast things change for you. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't reach your goal. That goal may be the very reason that you were put on this planet. If you made it this far, smile.